The Republic of Moldova is situated between Romania and Ukraine and has the unenviable distinction of being the poorest country in Europe. The average monthly household income is a mere $100 and has actually decreased over the last 3 years, leaving hundreds of thousands of people struggling to survive on less than $1 a day. As a result, nearly 1/3 of the population has left the country to find employment elsewhere, typically leaving their children behind to be raised by elderly grandparents, left to survive on their own, or ending up in government-run orphanages. Many of these children are abused, neglected, and exploited, and resort to living on the streets, leaving them vulnerable to human traffickers. The elderly in Moldova do not fare much better, struggling to survive on pensions of between $20 and $50 per month. Many live on their own in utter squalor, abandoned by their families and society. Caplani is a small village in the south of Moldova, and like nearly all villages in Moldova, Caplani struggles with these same issues. But this community is committed to making a difference. Led by their dynamic mayor and a devoted Christian community leader, the community of Caplani identified 2 houses situated next to each other that are being transformed into residences for the elderly and abused children. The homes were purchased for a total of €5,000 through the generous donations of a church in the UK and 3 Americans who have a passion for helping the needy. One home will house 14 of the most desperately poor seniors who are now living in absolute misery. The other home will accommodate up to 14 abused and neglected children from the community who are now in separate horrible government-run institutions in other parts of the country. Both homes need heating systems, bathrooms, windows, doors, and a great deal of cosmetic reparations. Although the renovations have been ongoing for several weeks, another €6,000 is needed to complete the project. The salaries for 3 full-time carers will be provided through pensions from the elderly residents and funds from the government to support the children. Food, utilities, and furniture will be provided by the community, and therefore the project will be self-sufficient. These are 3 of the elderly who would reside in the home. Petru is 84 years old, blind, and lives on his own in one room of a dilapidated house that has no running water or toilet facilities, and he uses sticks to burn for heating. Petru rarely bathes and has worn the same clothes for as long as people can remember. In spite of this, Petru is a delightful man who thoroughly enjoys conversing with people, but instead is compelled to live on his own, listening to his radio for company. Pavel is an almost exact replica of Petru. He too is blind, elderly, and living on his own in a horrible one-room home, and rarely has visitors. When I visited with Pavel, he cried while he related to us the misery he is experiencing on his own, in a cold house with no peace or hope for the future. Oksana is 30 years old, but has the mentality of a 5-year-old. She has lost her right leg just below her knee, her teeth are in incredibly bad shape, and she too lives on her own in one room of her home. Oksana has been subjected to unspeakable abuse, and her family abandoned her years ago, leaving her to be cared for by a female neighbor. Through your generosity, these individuals will spend their remaining years in a loving Christian home, surrounded by the laughter of children. They will receive nutritious food 3 times a day, have clean clothes to wear, and be blessed with modern bathroom facilities. The children will also benefit from these same necessities of life, which most of us take for granted, and will grow to be loving, caring, and productive members of society. Please visit our website at jmdemeryfoundation.com to see the impact we have had on the citizens of Moldova. Thank you for your interest and compassion, and we look forward to partnering with you on this very important and life-changing mission. May God bless you richly.